Surface Guy.
Hey YouTube, Surface Geeks number 88, recorded on March 25th, 2015. This is an audio podcast. If you found this YouTube video and you're wishing to see 2 or 3 minutes of hard-hitting information like a review or an unboxing, that is not what this is going to be. This is a podcast. We merely record this for prosperity, for video. Mostly it's like early look. So if you wait for the audio podcast, you can always get an early look, an early listen to the Surface Geeks podcast. So go out to surfacegeeks.com. There's a blog there. There's a forum there. There's a podcast there. And this is an audio podcast merely with people talking and pictures.
With a possible unboxing.
Oh. I have to say that because I always get people saying, man, this unboxing took forever. Dog.
We should unbox something every week on Surface Geeks, even if it's just like a.
I have
like
a new
box of Kleenex.
I have a case. It's a review device.
I got some new frisbees today. Some new discs, for disc golf.
Okay, how about
goldfish?
this? Is this too big?
Dang.
Got this in the mail today. Antec P70.
Am I the only one that's having video quality issues here?
With Dave?
Yeah.
It looks good on the live stream.
Okay.
I see you both in HD, so I'm getting you guys in HD.
John, drop your lower third, man, because you're all our videos big, and then yours goes really small because it crops it.
Huh.
Unless Dave is going to use his lower third.
I just totally forgot it.
Yeah.
I don't
better?
care.
Just drop it, John. It'll look
Is that better?
All right.
It will be.
Are you better, John?
Yeah, he's better.
What is that big eagle? Jesus, I don't like that.
Let me quit some things here.
Okay. You ready? You can F with that when I do the intro. There's notes on the side, fellas. We got to cover all those, okay? On the OneNote. You have OneNote open?
Oh, okay, hold on.
There's tons of notes on the side, so that's where we're going to go.
OneNote.
We're going to cruise through there before we go Windows Phone and then finally Surface. Ready? 3, 2, 1. This is the Surface Geeks Podcast, episode number 88, recorded on March the 25th, 2015. Welcome back to Surface Geeks. I'm your host, David McCabe. I've drug with me Mr. Jim Collison. I say drug with me. Maybe he needs some drugs. Jim, you were feeling under the weather. What's going on?
It just hasn't been a great day for my voice. I feel fine, but starting on Monday, I just started losing my voice a little bit more each day. It's coming back a little bit, but it's a little rough, so hang with me.
All right. Well, you look good, so just sit there and look pretty.
All right. I'll be the talent.
Just hold up your Surface every once in a while.
We'll just keep drinking the magic elixir here. That will do.
That's going to help.
The elixir. That exactly is going to help. And that voice was Mr. John Wiskowski. How you doing, John?
I took my Xanax. I'm ready to go.
Exactly. Well, I have, a magic elixir in the Windows Home Server Cup. So, hey, we are the Surface Geeks, and you can find us at surfacegeeks.com. We have a forum out there we want you to participate in. Please go out there and let me show John's cup. Oh, Spring Break Day.
Spring Break, baby.
Nice. Was that from like 1987? It looks worn.
You buy this cup, you could drink out of the keg all day long.
Right. All right, we're a member of the Geeks Network, thegeeksnetwork.com. Head out there, check out all the nice podcasts out there. You can find Jim, you can find John, you can find Home Server Show, Surface Geeks, Agnostic Tech. Everything we make is out there. A couple of forums are out there, and I've still yet to add my new shows, but I've got 3 new shows that's coming. We're just trying to work out some artwork and layout and design. I want you guys to see them in perfect shape, so I'm not going to rush it. They're making podcasts. They are making podcasts, so that's cool. The content will be with you shortly, so thanks for heading out there to thegeeksnetwork.com. So, guys, I want to start you out. Maybe some Surface Geeks, some new folks don't know what Meetup is. So I want to tell you just 60 seconds real quick. Meetup is something that Jim and I have been doing This will be number 5, I think. And what we're doing is we every year we get together a group of friends that hang out in our forums, whether that be homeservershow.com, theaverageguy.tv, or surfacegeeks.com. We meet once a year. We go over some tech stuff. We do a lot of giveaways. We have a lot of food. We have a lot of beer, and we have generally a good time. Now, we've done this in Wisconsin a couple of years. We've done it in Indianapolis a couple of years. It seems to go wherever I do. So, yet again, this year will be Indianapolis. I just cannot uproot myself to do it anywhere else. It takes a lot of prep, so we start early. But it's a great time. People travel from all over the continental United States. We've had them from Colorado, New England, Boston. This year we're going to have John from Florida, so we got that covered. We've had Atlanta covered. A lot of guys from Minnesota. I tried to do the soda, Minnesota. And Jim, he's an 11-hour drive. So tonight you need to take a map and look at Indianapolis and draw a big circle of 11 hours. Jim, we need to just post that.
I know.
If you live within this circle, it's almost required.
It's almost all the United States. I'm just going to lie. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It's almost the whole East Coast.
For you to attend.
Yeah.
Now, here's what we're going to do for you, though. You don't just have to book plane tickets, although guys will start booking plane tickets tonight. I guarantee you. I will, yes. We have Texas was represented Texas was represented as the first ever attendee.
Yes, even before we got there.
Correct. Correct. Texas beat us to our own meetup. Guy in the forums known by Yoda Fett. What I will do is I will get some posts and some information for you. I promise. I'll give you all the information you need, where it's going to be, how we can get you a discounted hotel room, and there will be other posts that start in the forums, and these posts will be guys looking for rides in cars, guys looking for pick up from the airport kind of things, and it all works out. It just all works out. So stay tuned for that. But I'm going to tell you the date. Jim and I agreed to this last week, or was it a week before? I don't even remember, Jim. It was September 12th.
Yep.
September 12th is a Saturday. You have to be there Saturday morning. So most folks come in Friday night or Friday afternoon. Some even come in Thursday. Just all depends on what you want to do. Festivities are Friday night, Saturday, all day Saturday, and most of Saturday night. We've gone up to midnight usually, and then for the last couple of years, we've been going out to a breakfast, a little hole in the wall. I shouldn't say hole in the wall in case Mike Howard's listening, but it's a Waffle House, so it's a nice greasy spoon, and we have some breakfast. And I love my annual trip to Waffle House for the pecan waffle. I gotta have the pecan waffle. So it's a great time. I hope you will consider coming. It will be probably $20-25. That just ensures that when you do sign up, you will show up, because I do cater in a lot of food. So I cater in breakfast, I cater in lunch, and you're responsible for the rest of it. So it's usually a really good time. We will go to Fry's. We will go to the Microsoft store. Microsoft store, man, they rolled out the red carpet last year. I mean, they gave us discount cards. They had a giveaway. All kinds of cool stuff was happening. And the cool thing is we've had the guys from the Digital Media Zone, the DMZ podcast. They always come out. So Richard Gunther, Josh Pollard. I'm not saying they will this year, but we have a lot of podcasters that come out, and it's a really good time. So I encourage you to stay tuned, and we'll get you that information. So go ahead. I don't have a place to meet yet. I started calling today, and nobody would answer their phone. I'm like, what the heck? So I hope I'm early enough to get us a cool spot. If not, I will get us the same spot as last year, and I seem to know how to do that one. I know how to pull that one off now. Last year was it went very easily, Jim, I would say.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was good. We were down in numbers a little bit, 35 or so, and that's a great number.
It's a great number.
That worked out very, very well. So
Yes, it's a great number, and we have some giveaways, and the cool thing is a lot of guys bring stuff. They're like, "Hey, I've got this brand new disc cage I'm not using. Just give it away." So, and I have a brand new review unit sitting down here. It's a computer case from Antec. They sent that to me for review. I'm just not even going to send it back. I'm just going to give it away at the meetup. So that's kind of how we roll around here. All right, sorry for taking all that time. You guys are Surface geeks. I don't have to preach at you anymore. But there is a sale. Microsoft is having a sale on Surface. Now it's kind of tricky. It was $100 last week. Now it's $150. This is at Microsoft Store. You can get this online or you can get this in the store. But you cannot get our favorite Surface, which is the Core i3 64. That thing's still $799, John.
Isn't that interesting? It was on sale earlier in the year, but not anymore.
Not for $150 off. I think that's just digging way too much into the old profit margin.
It was $100 off not too long ago.
You know, I bought mine at $100 off with a Staples coupon. It was for any laptop, and I don't know if it was a mistake. I'm assuming the computers would have caught it, but I was able to get my Surface Pro 3 Core i3 64 gig at $699, which I thought was just a complete steal. So you can get the i5, the 128 and up, i7, of course, $150 off, and that's a great deal.
free sleeve too, if you buy
Free sleeve. So
free sleeve. I got one laying around here somewhere.
There's an extra.
It's over on the chair.
$10 sleeve in there for you. There's no reason. If you need a Surface Pro, there's no reason not to get in one now. You should just go out and get it. I'm gonna go through some news today, guys, and then we're gonna talk a little bit of Windows Phone, and we're gonna talk about all this stuff going around on the internet tonight. So that's the topic tonight. If you're watching on YouTube, you can join us at surfacegeeks.com. There's a live podcast link. There's a chat room. You don't even have to log in. You don't need a password. You can just start typing a question, pick a username, and you're in. You're watching and asking questions. I don't know why I have this at the top of my list, but I thought it was kind of cool. Top of the notes, guys, on OneNote, USB 3.0 connector to gigabit Ethernet adapter. Now, I bought the dock. So I have the Surface Pro 3 dock. But you really wouldn't need it if you had this little doohickey, because it has a USB 3 connector that plugs into your Surface Pro, a gig Ethernet adapter, and it's got 3 USB 3 ports. So it's a USB hub.
Pretty handy.
This thing is pretty cool. It's $50 on the manufacturer side. I'm wondering if it's on Amazon.
For a quality, Ethernet, you could spend 20, maybe more, depending on the exact specs of it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice that they're all USB 3. There's not one is USB 2 or something. So looks good.
I would really struggle. I don't like, I bought 2 adapters for the Surface. The network, just get standard, gigabit Ethernet coming out, and then a VGA adapter. And I don't like it where it's up, it's up top when you're trying to sit it down, and I don't like that thing hanging down. Since buying the dock, I'm using it a lot more.
Yeah.
And it's just, if it's going to sit there, it's just not a great, because it comes off the top right-hand side. So
yeah, I don't have one, but
yeah, that's been something I've noticed.
But I can kind of demo it. I mean, kind of like that,
Yeah, it comes off the dongle, and it's not as clean as I'd like it to be. I like those things to be a little bit lower down. And but the dock has been dynamite, Dave. That's the best thing I've bought for it yet. So it just changes it. It's on the desk. Come in, slap that thing in there, and boom, everything connects into it. It's great.
I agree. The dock is hard to beat.
Yeah.
I've got it. I can unplug it from power here. So let's just go over the USB, the Surface Pro 3 dock. You can see it in video, guys. If you're on audio, just hang in there. It comes with a power dock, a power cable. Now, the power cable looks almost identical to the Surface Pro 3, except it doesn't have the little magnetic click. It has a little, just a little standard DC
Yep.
power plug
And
right
no
there.
USB port on it either.
There's no USB plug on the transformer block, but what it does is it frees up your Surface Pro 3 power dock. You can put it in a different room. You can put it in the kitchen. So what I do is I do have it in the kitchen, and when I take it down there, I plug in the Surface, and I have a USB cable stuck in there the whole time, and I'll throw the phone on there. So port by port, it's got a display port out right here, so you can drive a monitor, but it also, when you dock the Surface, you don't cover up the. I'm having trouble doing this on, but you don't cover up this display port either, so you can do dual display out. So you can see two standard USBs right here, two USB 3s here. You have the Ethernet and you have headphone out. Now notice what you have here is you have a stylus magnet. Dropped my pen.
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. You got the stylus magnet there. You know what you really need, though? You don't need this silly magnet. You need the clean stylus right there to go on, to click with you wherever you go. Clean stylus. Click the ad at the top of the Surface Geeks homepage. But that's kind of cool. And there's a USB 3 on that side, and then there's a Kensington on the other side. The front of it, pretty sleek, covered in fingerprints, but you cannot beat the dock, guys.
No, it's well worth it. I mean, it's pricey, but it's well worth it. I have used my Surface more at the desk now that it's in the dock, and I don't know why. I can't point to it and say I don't have any good reasons. It just feels different, feels better. So it's been a good buy.
Yeah, $200. You can still use the keyboard.
I think I got mine
attached to
for
it.
like 160.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how you got it for 160.
Amazon, I think.
Okay. Retail is $200 at the Microsoft store, but hey, if it's 160 at the Amazon store, you should buy
Double
it.
check.
I'm just shaking my head this whole time because I use my Surface as a tablet. The touch screen. Not sure if you guys noticed that it also has a touch.
Oh, it's a touch screen.
Yeah, and it
There's a
runs
touch
these
bar?
apps that are now called Microsoft apps or Windows apps.
Is that why they give you the stick?
I don't use that either. I don't know what you need
I use that to
for.
clean the little vents
So
on the side.
this is a
Horrible on paper. Always
is a
ripping paper.
tablet. Yes, use your hands. Multi-touch technology.
Well, John, what was nice tonight, so I came in, I had about an hour before the show started, and I wanted to sit upstairs to eat dinner. So, I came in, just grabbed the Surface off the desk, pulled it out of the dock, took it up there, popped the keyboard off, and we'll talk a little bit later maybe. I got Windows 10 on it now, so Continuum is working, which is dynamite. Love it. In tablet mode. And used it up there, and then when I was done, grab dinner, come down here to get ready for the show. Just pop it back in the dock, boom, put the keyboard back on it, and it's back in business. So I prefer it with the keyboard, to be honest. I mean, the touchscreen stuff is nice, but I do prefer it with the keyboard. With as much writing as I have to do, there's no way I'm going to do it on that on-screen keyboard.
Yeah, you have the wrong device then, Jim.
No.
I'll have to show you something called an Ultrabook.
Yeah,
that'll
I've got
help you
plenty.
with
I got a
keyboard
couple of
you gotta
those
do.
too. But it's just it
I know.
it is awesome for that. I just love pulling that keyboard off when I need to. Just
Yeah,
pull
there's
it off, toss it aside.
to me, there's nothing that makes me regret my purchase of this until I plug in that keyboard. Then I just don't know what I just did. And as soon as I rip that keyboard off, I am happy. I'm golden. I'm using the stand and the multiple angles to type on screen, typing way faster, way more accurately than on that keyboard. I'm just used to having a touch screen. But it's nice having the keyboard for when I have to work or need the precision touch pad, although I did take advantage of the Amazon sale to pick up the Arc mouse Bluetooth edition. It was like almost half off, 45% off or something. So I'm looking forward to having that. Yep, got one of those bad boys. But I am looking forward to a future Surface purchase that replaces my home computer, and then of course I will definitely want the dock. I would love to have one device, plug in the dock, it's my home PC. I head off to work, I take it out of the dock, throw it in my sleeve, and I'm good to go. So I definitely see the merits of the dock. But don't forget, guys, it is a tablet. It does have a touchscreen.
Yeah, I use it. You know what? At work when I'm on my laptop, I'm always trying to touch the screen up.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, oh, I can't do that on this one. So that is I've gotten really dependent. I'll be typing and then just move stuff around and keep typing. It's a great workflow. I like it. You know, I like it both ways.
I don't think either one of you are wrong,
Yeah.
except John. But I mean, I'm just kidding, John. I couldn't live without the touchscreen. If you took the touchscreen away from it right now, even though I use the keyboard all the time, I would be mad at you. I have to have that touchscreen. I have that left hand on it up all the time. I'm always tapping something. I don't know why I choose, okay, this time I'm going to tap that part instead of click that part, but that's what I do.
Dave, those docking stations right now on Amazon, $159,
Wow.
and the black type keyboard cover, $103. So prices have come down a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting, and we'll talk a little bit more about maybe why this is happening, and a little bit later in the show. But next news item is Cortana will now track your UPS and your U.S. Postal Service parcels. The Cortana digital assistant has been updated, which is a cool thing, is she can get updated in the cloud. And she's reading your email, looking for your tracking numbers, which is kind of common. I mean, everybody else has been doing it, so why not Cortana? I haven't had it happen yet. We'll talk about that in a minute. Back to Surface Pro 3. Now, I don't want to berate this individual because he got a lot of press, but someone took it on their own to upgrade their SSD on their not only Surface Pro 3 but a Core i7. This is the most expensive Surface you can buy, and someone cut a hole in the back of it and lifted out the mSATA card and put in a brand new mSATA card. I will put that link in the show notes for you, but literally this guy went to iFixit and printed out a diagram of the insides and figured out exactly where the mSATA drive is, and he took a Dremel tool and he cut a big square out and removed the mSATA and he put in a 1 terabyte. I mean, hey, you know, if you're gonna upgrade, you might, you know, let's upgrade.
That had to be pricey.
It was I think he said $400 for that mSATA
It's
card.
not as bad as I thought it was going to be, actually. So it's pretty.
Well, I mean, you take that expensive Surface Pro 3, the tools he had to purchase. He was during the read. It was kind of, I was just laughing because Microsoft made this with a certain strong metal, and he found that out the hard way. It was eaten up a bit. He had to get like a diamond tipped carbide bit or something. It was really funny. But he got it done, and there's pictures. This huge hole in a Surface with this gouged out portion where he literally just sliced into a working machine in order to get out the mSATA drive. Just absolutely bonkers, if you ask me. Bonkers. I'm jumping all over the place. Cardash. I made note of this app. This is it's going to be my app of the week, and since I've mentioned it, I'll just go ahead with it. This is something I want to try, John. Is I've got a wireless charger in my car, and I want to try this Cardash app, and I'll put the link in the show notes. But supposedly, it also has an NFC reader writer in it, so you can get an NFC tag, put that in your car, and when you drop it into the charger, it will launch Cardash. And of course, you're gonna have big buttons, and you can choose a music app or something. And so I've always wanted to try this, and I was kind of unsuccessful with my last phone because it just would not stay powered up in my charger. The phone itself had a weak, I don't know, a weak sticker for wireless Qi charging, and I would like to hopefully remedy that with the Lumia icon. Now the problem I ran into today, I tested it on my way home from the Verizon store, is the power button is right in the clamping mechanism. So
Yep.
I put it in there. I wasn't even thinking, John. I clamped it down,
Right.
and the little slide to power off came on. And I was like, what? And I tried to get it to go away, and it just rebooted. And I'm like, oh my God, wireless Qi just killed my phone. And then I figured out that I was compressing the power button.
Yeah, it's one of my least favorite things to deal with. I like the lower range Lumias because the backs are removable. So I have a magnetic plate that I put in them, and I have a car mount that's magnetic. It actually goes into my CD slot, and I just love it. And of course, if you have another phone like an iPhone, you can get a case and just put the magnet. If you have a Samsung phone, you can take off the back, put the magnet in there. Some phones, there's enough of a magnet in the back of it, like the Nexus 5. I think there's a couple other phones out there that put some magnets in their phones. That's my preferred way to do it. But some of these phones, these more unibody phones that have Qi built in, then you have an issue where you don't want the magnet in front of the Qi plate, right? So it's like some phones you just can't do that, and you have to do what you're doing and put it in a regular mount. I've learned that once you put a case on that phone, which you're probably going to do, you'll find that those buttons will get hit a lot less often inside of your mount.
So going for the case, hopefully that'll. I mean, I can always cut this mount. I figured I can just whack off the part that is hitting the button, but I'd rather not do that. It's got grippy on it, and if I change phones, buttons may be in different spots.
Yeah, there are also car mounts that have like the sticker pad. I guess is that what you're saying? Yours has like the grippy pad on it.
You know, mine
bit,
has it has two legs on the bottom that hold it, and then it has a clamping device that you kind of drop it in and squeeze it, and it's good, and it has a button on the back when you want to release it.
Right.
And
you like that mount?
It's okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's not my favorite, but there's a lot of options out there on Amazon. Just do a search and read the reviews. And again, it depends on what phone you have, how big it is, if it's a case, no case, magnetic, not magnetic.
Yep, absolutely. So Cardash, I'll put that link in the show notes. It looks like a great app.
Now, that's not an official Nokia app, but I believe Nokia has one.
Correct.
As well. There's a few out there. I've used the Nokia one, just not this one yet.
Okay. I thought this one was cool because I don't know if the Nokia one will program an NFC chip, but this one will.
Not to my knowledge, no. It can read one. You could set the car app so because the Nokia sells that Qi car charger that has a mount structure like yours does. And yeah, so you can just tap that. And it'll know you're in the car. It'll turn on Bluetooth, that kind of stuff.
Okay. The reason I like this one is it looked like the dev was really active on it, and there's so many updates. I like this is something good. Even if he charged for it, it would be something good to try. But it's free.
And it works in landscape as well as portrait. Some of them are just one orientation.
Correct.
Only, so.
And it's got almost 1,000 reviews. So I'm gonna give it a shot. I'll let you know. Okay. Hey, I showed you the clean stylus. I would encourage you to head out to Surface Geeks and click the link at the top. You can get if you want to hold your pen, click on that link. You can always keep your pen with you on your Surface Pro 3 Clean Stylus. It's not an ad, but they're a good bunch of guys, and they made a cool product, and I like it. So thought I'd give them a mention. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget you can catch us at surfacegeeks.com. Click the podcast link in the top, and you can chat with us. We do have a live chat going, and Eric says he needs a car mount for his icon. So maybe if John can find a couple that he's liked, a couple of mounts from Amazon, John can get me some links, and we'll put in the show notes for everybody else to look at too. And we can always talk in the forums too.
Yes, I'm a car mount aficionado. I have 4 in my possession right now. So if you'd like me to, I have one favorite, and it's a generic one. It's not a magnetic one because that doesn't work for everyone. I prefer the CD slot mounts because you're not playing around with your air vent, which I don't think makes sense. It's going to create humidity and it's going to block your air. The ones that you got to screw into the bottom of the seat, or they go in the power plug, right? So I like the CD mounts, but almost all these mounts have options which way you want them to mount.
You know why I didn't get that one? It's because I have a touchscreen that motorizes out and it moves, and then that's where you find the DVD and the CD player.
Well, we don't all drive Mercedes.
This is a Dodge. God. This is a Dodge.
That to me sounds like a Mercedes feature. I don't know, Jim. Who makes that sound system?
Kind of sounds like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a spaceship is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, no, and I'll admit, part of my problem with it will block my touchscreen in my Ford, right? So, and I have a rear-facing camera. When I was using the Nexus 6, I couldn't see anything. The whole dash is blocked by that phone. So using
you have to remove the phone from the car.
Using my 635, I don't even know it's there. So yeah, it's been great.
John, I've gone to that. I've gone to a vent mount for the first time, and I haven't experienced any vent problems. The cold air gets around it and the warm air gets around it.
I was worried in Florida. I always have the air on
Yeah.
like 65, 68, that it was just going to be pushing on that phone. Like if I took a 2-hour car ride, that's got to create some.
So I put it at the very top of it, and
Yeah.
then I throw the phone, and then it's the mount is actually at the bottom of my phone, so it sits, and so there's a little gap underneath it that allows that air
what
out.
you're talking about.
So
okay.
that's kind of how I've gotten around it. I've got a Honda, and it's not summer yet, so we'll find out. But those little Whiz gear. So I think you and I talked about this, I think, on another show at one point somewhere. But the little magnetic mount, and you get a metal piece for the back of your phone.
Yep.
Man, those things that's the best $10 I've ever spent on anything.
Because when you are in and out of the car, you know what I mean? The last thing you want to do is worry about pinching, because the one that I'm going to recommend, actually, you kind of have to like push one of the arms back when you put the phone in, and it clips in place.
Right.
And then you have to like pull the phone a little bit. First of all, if you don't have your phone in a case, you're going to mark your phone up after repeated use of that. Yep. But the people get in my car like, whoa, what'd you just do? Cars should come with that built in. Yeah.
You throw it up there. The thing I like, it came with 2, and one of them was a sticker. So if I didn't have a case, you could just stick it right to it. I'm not sure I'd do that, but and then you can buy extras. And so the cool thing I like is I can give them to everybody in the family and just say, here, put this in your case.
I did the same way. I bought some extras to have them, and I've actually chopped some up because I didn't want to interfere with the chi plate, so I cut them in half. And I do all this testing, figuring out, does chi still work? Do I feel like I'm going to fry the battery, or
Yeah.
So, and actually, the 635 is so small. The plate was kind of too big, so I actually have just like a little strip of magnet right here. It fits between the 2 rubber bumpers inside the 635. But man, I love it.
Yeah, the one I have comes with a small round one, and it fits nicely on the 520. So
nice.
You can just slide that in there, and it just sits right in the piece. So that's been a good, like I said, best $10 I've spent.
Yeah, as my co-host of the Agnostic Tech podcast tells me, I've spent more on accessories than I have on the 635 itself. So.
Maybe you have the wrong phone if you've paid more in accessories than the actual phone.
I'm working on that, Dave. More to come.
You can always sell it on eBay. $25 for the auction. If you want the case and all the accessories, it's $175.
Well, I have a glass screen protector on my 635. I know I'm the only person who invested in that hot item. But man, it makes this a premium phone. I'll tell you that. No more fingerprints.
Yikes. Okay, we're going to talk about phones. Let's talk about phones. Is there anything else in my notes? Check the Surface Geeks OneNote edition, and no, let's just go down. I was dreading this, John. I was dreading this. I was going to go to Verizon. I've been trying to I got my Lumia Icon in the mail on Saturday. Saturday was my kid's birthday party, so there was no opening that package whatsoever. And I took it today because my phone that I'm using now has a micro SIM. The Lumia Icon is a nano SIM, and which is much smaller. So you can either cut it down yourself and do some SIM swapping, or you just go, if you're with Verizon, they'll give you a SIM for free, or swap your phone for free if you take it in there. They'll do ESN checks and whatnot. But usually if you take in a Windows phone, they look at you like, really? You're changing to that? Why? They don't understand. They really don't understand. And when I went in there, these guys were like, they were just like, oh, cool, hey, we used to have that phone, you know. So it was kind of funny. We kind of just talked to cameras and stuff, and they swapped it out, and yeah, it was nice. They, wait till it comes up on, it says LTE pops up, and they're like, all right, dude, you're cool. And first thing I did was I sent you guys a message in Messenger, and I was like, all right, I've got data, I'm out of here. So I've been on the Icon a whole 6 hours. I've probably sent like 3 texts and made 1 phone call. That's it.
That's a lot, if you think about it, for the amount of time that you've had it. Now, question for you.
Okay.
Can you SIM swap on Verizon? Now that you have a nano SIM, you can use almost any phone that's out there. You could either use an adapter to put it in a micro SIM or a full-size SIM device. Can you do that? Can you use a SIM adapter and put this into your LG G3?
You can. You can. They say, I think that they kind of frown upon it, John, and they don't like you to do it like a lot. So
Verizon's not the carrier for John.
Yeah, I don't do it like 3 times a day. I really don't. I do. I'm in a phone or not. Where's my?
I have a SIM tool on my keychain.
Yeah.
I have a SIM cutter at both work and home. I have sanding paper, tweezers, and multiple adapters of all kinds. And when I have to cut a SIM, I keep the border of the SIM that I cut as another adapter, because those are the best adapters, actually. The actual previously,
Correct.
Micro
those are the best.
Yeah.
Those are the best. Here's a little kit that's on Amazon. It comes
with worth it. It's like $2.
Yeah, SIM tool and all kinds of little adapters. And the one you want is right here in the gold. And I've used this quite a lot before. And in fact, I used it when I went on vacation last year. I swapped. I was using the Icon, the G2, and I also had the OnePlus One. So I was doing some camera comparisons and whatnot.
Nice.
And I ended up staying on Verizon. That's what kept me on Verizon. Is I stayed with the G2, I stayed with the Icon, then I eventually went with the G3, and so here we are today. Now you guys can ask me any kind of questions you want, and for Windows Phone guys out there and the fans out there, this is not going to be like a gripe session or a bitch session, but I'm going to tell you some things that I've experienced. Now I have been using the phone since last Sunday. I've had it ready to go. I just had not had my SIM put in the phone.
So if you notice, when you told me that you received the phone on Saturday and you didn't unbox it because it was your son's birthday, I immediately hung up. Never heard of such a thing. That was number one. Number two, you have an AMOLED phone, one of the best screens ever put on a phone you have in your hands. You have a white background going on that phone.
I'm
right
experienced.
now. You are destroying that battery on that phone right now,
yes.
and you're making that screen work for no darn good reason.
I was goofing around. Let me change that to dark for John's purposes. Okay.
Dave also isn't aware of the rules that all your transparent icons have to be together. They can't be broken up. All the transparent icons go at the top of the phone. All the non-transparent icons go at the bottom of the phone.
The funny thing is though those are 2 Microsoft apps, OneNote and Lumia Camera, are the ones that are not transparent.
OneDrive's also in that boat too. So
yeah. So if you scroll down, you've got OneDrive and Evernote and my Radar app.
So are you? As soon as you started using it and you got it set up, you're a few hours in, a few days in, whatever it is, were you annoyed, frustrated, disgusted?
Well, let me tell you why I wanted to go to the Icon.
Okay.
Is I wanted to try out Denim. So now this has the Denim update. I made sure it did. When I got it, it did not have a Denim update. And I got this off of eBay, guys. If you're interested in a phone, and I'm very picky on my eBay purchases, and let me tell you, this phone is absolutely flawless. I got an absolutely flawless edition. It is not new, but it came with a box and all the accessories. I don't know. I think it's going to be one of those things where someone either won it or it was given to them and they didn't want it and they sold it. And that's how I got it. So it's in completely brand new condition. Just, I don't know how I got this. It's in perfect shape. Now, the biggest point is, and you think about this yourself, is if you ever changed from one OS to another, there's always a couple of things to consider. There's always a learning curve. There's always you're going to have that point where you kind of miss some things, right? You know you're moving forward with something that you like and you want to move on with, but there's also, you're going to miss things and you're going to compare things. You're going to say, well, it doesn't have this. I used to do that. It doesn't have this, but hey, it's got this. It does this better. So that's what I'm working through now, John, is like keyboard changes, physical size changes. You know, I'm getting through those things itself. Now, don't think that I haven't used Windows Phone before. I mean, you guys know that I've had a bazillion Windows Phone. I don't even want to go through my list. It was starting with I think it was the 900, and then the 822, and then 920, and it just went on and on and on and on and on. But you know, so far so good. And I say that because I have yet to try a podcast app, and I'm still a little gun shy at pulling out a podcast app. But
And you should be.
you know, so far so good. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of things that just right off the bat, coming from an LG G3, which is 5.5 inches, huge, and I do miss that size already. When I hold this in one hand and I'm able to reach every corner of the phone, I'm like, this is not natural. I should have to hold this with two hands, and I miss the extra real estate. I keep finding when I was on the G3, I had a button for notifications, the app notification drawer, whatever you want to call it, that would slide down from the top.
Yeah.
With Windows Phone, you have to reach up there and grab it.
That's right.
So it's a stretch. I was joking about reaching everything. This is still not a small phone. You have to reach your thumb up there and drag it down. On the Android phone that I had a button on the bottom right. These buttons were programmable. You could put them in any order you wanted. And on the far right, I had it was an arrow button that would drop the drawer down, and you could look at your notifications and then just fling it back up, and you were done. You didn't have to reach. You didn't have to do anything. I'm still in the keyboard awkwardness phase, John. I still I use Swift over there. I don't use Swipe, but I use the Swift keyboard.
Yeah, I've been on Windows Phone this time longer than you have, and I'm still not happy with the way that I type on the keyboard. It does get better, and because you know I've kind of gone back and forth between devices, and I've reset them, and it will get better the more that you type on it. That's the one thing the Windows Phone keyboard will do, but it takes time. It does not. You're going to struggle for a little bit if you're anything like me before you feel like, okay, it's really starting to learn you. It's trying to help you, but for some of us, it just doesn't quite. I mean, I literally will just have the weirdest text and show on the screen that doesn't even make any sense sometimes. But I'm just kind of pushing myself through that. And the hardest part is because I use it for work. So I have to sometimes respond to an email quickly. I'm running between meetings. I got to approve something, do something, and if I start typing too fast, I just find personally that it just can't seem to keep up. Now, it could be that I've been on lower end devices, but I did have the 1M8. I told you I did think I had some touchscreen sensitivity issues on that. I actually think it was too sensitive for me. I just wasn't used to it. But yeah, I definitely feel you that the keyboard's a transition coming from Android.
Yeah, and plus it's a little smaller screen, so maybe
Sure.
Maybe that's affected me somehow.
Exactly.
It's not a big thing. I mean, it's not a big deal. I did notice when I was trying to do a tweet today, I was trying to do a tweet in the car. So when you're tweeting in the car, you have to do stoplight to stoplight, right? I know all of you have done this.
Mhm.
You start crafting it at one stoplight, and the light turns green. You drop it down between your legs, and you go. You go to the next stoplight, you pick it up, you unlock it, back to your app, and you type in as freaking fast as you can. Well, I noticed I wanted to @ someone, and I had to do a shift on the keyboard in order to find the @ symbol.
Yep.
I'm using Tweetium for Windows Phone, and I don't know if maybe another one has an @ symbol somewhere.
The keyboard is not app specific, if that makes sense.
So yeah, so I noticed that. I mean, you just notice these things right off. So I'm getting used to the email app. So email changes quite drastically. And there's a new email app out for Windows Phone, and I think I want to try it because it has swipe to delete, swipe to archive, and I really like that function. I really like the ability, a lot of the apps on the other ecosystems swipe one way for delete and swipe the other way for tasks. And I would swipe one way for a task that said, hey, resend this to me in an hour, or add a task, send this to Evernote, do whatever.
If these are the things that you're talking about, Dave, this experience is not going to go well for you. I can tell you that right now. You need to leave all of that behind. You are using a Windows phone. Okay? You need to change to the Windows way of doing things. There's things called list items, selecting them one by one, going down to the three dots. What do they call it? The waffle? I don't know what they call that thing. And select all. I mean, and some apps will use this in the stock way, let's call it, the Microsoft way, and then some put their own little tweaks on it. So not all are like that. But I mean, if you're already talking about mail apps that you want to do this, that, and the other thing,
it's called Maestro.
Because that's what you did on iOS and that's what you did on Android.
It's the new app. It's called Maestro. I'm going to try this.
Let that go, Dave. Use the stock mail app, please. Thanks.
I do like the stock mail app in the fact that I can pin a folder. So I use Outlook.com, but I do not use an Outlook.com address. I use one of my own addresses, and then I have multiple aliases forwarding to that Outlook.com address, and they get filed into different folders. So something comes into podcast@homeservershow.com, it goes to a folder called HSS, and then I can pin that folder to my start screen. And it says HSS, and it has an Outlook icon, and it has a 3 on it. And I've got 3 unread messages in that mailbox, and that's freaking genius. I love that. I mean, I've always done that. And I have a Gmail application in there because my private email is david@mccabe.io, and it's not so private anymore. But that goes to a Google account. And, I may consider going to Outlook full-time. I've always considered it. I don't use the Google features. I don't tag. I just read or delete. That's all I do. Read, leave my inbox completely full, or I delete.
The one thing I miss with the stock email app is there's no archive. And even Outlook.com supports archiving. And I used to be a deleter all the time, and then you switch to Gmail full-time. And I kind of liked archiving because then things will come up, and you're like, darn it. I want that. I need that. Or I want to go dig that up. Or I'm trying to remember when I did that or when that thing happened, right? And you can go dig up that email. So it's kind of a little bit of a bummer that they couldn't add archive support either as an option or, like you said, as a default thing. So it'll be interesting to see. But the screenshots I'm seeing of what we're calling Microsoft apps, I guess, right? No, sorry, Windows apps coming to Windows 10. I'm really excited. Because I don't know if you've ever watched them, the update to the email app. Some think it's going to be like Outlook Preview for iOS and Android. No, it's a totally different app. Awesome, full, rich text editing capabilities. Because I don't know if you've noticed this, you can't underline the text in the email, you can't bold it or do anything like that. That's all coming soon. So I'm really excited. So hopefully we'll see, if we're going to see that level of changes to the email app, hopefully we see other things like swipe to delete, archive options, etc.
Well, in the Maestro app, I don't know these guys. I'm just saying I'm going to try this. There's gesture, swipe to delete, archive reply, favorites, multiple accounts with linked inbox, fast account switching, supports Gmail, Outlook, and Yahoo, and label support for Gmail.
I probably should have grabbed that app while it was free for the day, huh?
Yes, I did. You were told to, young man.
I know.
Um,
Jim knows I like overpaying.
I'm gonna try it. I'll try it and tell you if it's any good. I had a LastPass issue. So the first thing you do, right, is you install your apps,
Oh my goodness.
and then I have difficult passwords. Every app I have or website has a password that's 5 miles long. So you have to go to LastPass. On Windows Phone, it does not autofill. On Android, LastPass is always active and it will autofill into your apps, your username and password. So it's no big deal. You just flip over to LastPass, find the app, find the username. Usually you remember the username because it's an email address. You just go and you copy the password, and then you Alt Tab, whatever you want to call it, switch back over to the app. This time I was trying to do the SmartThings app. SmartThings is a home automation hub, and it would not paste in there, John. It just kept pasting gibberish. It would paste the password, but it also had gibberish on it that I could not get rid of. And it took me 5 minutes to get the freaking password into my app. And it hasn't done it since, but it just drove me crazy. It drove me absolutely mad. I I opened the Lumia and I created a folder of the Maps apps. There's 3 mapping apps, John. Why is there 3 mapping apps? There's
You don't, I like how you're
here,
talking to me. Like,
it's all your fault. There's Here Maps, there's Here
no.
Drive, and there's
Okay. All right. Let me.
look. I have
All
a
right.
folder.
You're
I have
you're
a
you're
folder.
killing me. You're killing me here. First thing you do when you get a Windows phone, you uninstall every app that is uninstallable. That's the first thing that you do. So
I
that
did.
leaves you
I
with the stock
uninstalled all the
Microsoft.
Verizon crap.
No, every app that's uninstallable, whether it's made by Microsoft, AT&T, Verizon, whoever, you uninstall. So there goes Here Maps, there goes Here Drive, all that is gone, and you start scratched. You can start from scratch, Dave. Real
Okay.
easy. So you're either a here person, right, and you're going to use. This is the thing. So there's a map app in Windows Phone, and it can be whatever you want. It could be Microsoft Maps, it could be Here Maps, it could be Waze, it could be a third-party ripoff of Google Maps, and then separate from that is your voice navigation app. That's rarely the same thing. Usually there's a map app, and that's why there's here maps and here drive, right? So you got to always think in your head that there's going to be 2 different apps, one for maps, one for navigations. The only one that I think combines it all into one app that's solid is Waze. And don't listen to what people tell you that it's getting taken off Windows Phone. It's actually one of the more regularly updated Windows Phone apps is Waze. So no one has told the Waze Windows Phone team that that app is dying. So right now it's a great app. It works well. It's an all-in-one solution. I highly recommend it. But people do love Here Maps. I think it depends where you live. I think they're stronger in Europe than they are in North America. I have a Ford Sync, as we've talked about before. There's an app called Send to Sync, so I can use any map that I want, and I just send it to my car's navigation, and I use the car's inbuilt system to go ahead and navigate me around. What I don't like about Here Maps and Here Drive is that it actually pauses your music to read you the directions, and I can't stand that. Waze just plays over the music that your phone is playing. So to me, Waze is one of the only solutions you should really consider for turn-by-turn navigation.
You can send to your Ford Sync
Yes, sir.
with what app?
So it's a partnership with MapQuest that Ford did a while ago, and
Okay.
there's apps on all platforms, iOS,
Oh, I see
Android,
it.
and
I'll
it's
have
called
it sent
Send to
to.
Sync. Now there was a bug; it didn't work for me. The developer figured it out, fixed it, and had a new build of the app in the store within 12 hours. So MapQuest made a change one time, and he went ahead and updated. And one time Ford Sync made a change. So he keeps that app updating. You have any issues at all, send the developer an email. He'll fix that app for you. It costs nothing. He wants nothing. He's one of the reasons why we've talked about this before, why the Windows phone platform is so great, because you're not getting that kind of support anywhere else.
Yeah, that's nice. Oh, okay, I'm gonna send that to OneNote real quick.
John, one of the nice things I've liked about Waze too is that you can turn off the notifications completely, and it doesn't, because like, I want to map the route home and such, so it gets used to that. But
Yeah.
I don't need those directions, right? It's
Nope.
like, don't tell me how to get home and shut up. I'm trying to listen to a podcast. And so I just drill down and shut off the notifications completely, and that's been great.
Because sometimes I want to get from one side of town to the other, and I kind of know where I'm going, but maybe there's a traffic accident or, it's really for traffic, which is what Waze is great for.
Right.
It's going to tell me, hey, don't even think about the turnpike. It's, there's construction. Go on this road.
Right.
So, yeah. So what I like about Waze is there's full voice navigation and alerts. Then you can have just alerts, so it can just tell you there's an accident or there's a cop up ahead. I love when it tells me there's a vehicle on the side of the road, because I have a passenger in the car. I'm like, there's going to be a car up here on the right. And then they're like, how the heck did you know that?
A little thumbs up.
And I love when it's gone, because I could say, not there anymore. You just hit that little button. Waze is a great little app that I didn't really start getting into until I went back on Windows Phone. So, or you can turn off the sound completely and just go by what's on screen.
Yeah, it's got some granularity on those alerts. So
a lot of
it's pretty
settings
nice.
in that app too. Like you could say, only tell me about red light cameras and speed traps. I don't want to know about everything else. And,
is it gonna kill your battery with running GPS?
Has not for me.
I haven't either.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
No, and I like to hear maps when I know I'm going to be somewhere where especially in western Nebraska, where Wi-Fi is spotty, cell service is spotty at times, and you can download those maps in advance, and they're just there and they just work. So for me, it's a nice backup if I'm going to be somewhere where I know it's going to be iffy. And so it was good to have. When I went to Europe, it was really good for that. So download those maps in advance, because I knew I wasn't going to have great cell service, if have any at all. And so, when I took the 920 to Europe, it just worked great.
Yes. I
Okay.
definitely agree with that.
But okay, so you see why I brought up the question. I'm really not that dumb. I know how to use the maps.
If you were an average consumer, I understand.
3 map apps on the phone.
So let's assume moving forward, a lot of those non-Microsoft apps are going to probably not be bundled anymore.
Okay.
We don't know that for sure, but
I mean, because I really just need. I'll try Waze again. I have an account, so.
Because with Windows 10, the mapping app for the desktop and Windows Phone will be a universal app, even though we're not supposed to call that anymore. That's what we're going to call it. So if you search for something on your Surface or your Windows 10 desktop, you just launch the Microsoft Mapping app on your phone, and it has your most recent searches. It's going to remember everything you did and what you looked for. So hopefully they'll just add some voice navigation to the Microsoft offering, and there won't be any need for Here. Or at the very least, just have Here Drive and try to get Here Maps off there.
Okay. So chat room saying use, instead of going light to light with Tweetium, you should use the Cortana integration. Say new tweet.
Yes.
But I wonder, I'll try it. I mean, can you at someone? We'll see. I'll try that.
Especially some odd Twitter handles out there, right?
Yeah. I was trying to tweet to a Verizon guy, and this afternoon, after I left the store, I wanted to tell him, hey, they did a good job. So, I think that's it. The only other thing I noticed is when I did a lot of driving yesterday looking for some stuff, and I used Google Maps quite a bit. So, thanks, John.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, the mute button was like 3 seconds too late. I noticed you burped. You go, peanut butter sandwich. Yeah, okay.
I've been muted all the show too. Anytime I've done anything weird, I've had to take some work calls too, and I'm still remembering to mute. And sorry about that. I was moving the mic, guys.
Okay, yeah, just moving the mic. The only thing different I found with Google Now and Cortana, and I'll list it, don't jump all over me, is when I look for a place of business, like I searched for a Baskin Robbins because I needed an ice cream cake. Google Now tells me the hours of operating, store hours, just lists right there.
I know exactly where you're going. Yep.
And Cortana did not. And I thought that's a real cool thing, and it's really freaking handy when you're looking for something at like 9 p.m. You're like, well, does Kohl's close at 9 tonight, or does it close at 10 tonight? Well, Google always tells you.
It'll tell you it's closing soon, it'll, I mean, it
Yeah.
shows the hours, but it even tries to give you tips like it's opening
Or it'll
soon,
say
closing soon.
this store opens tomorrow at
Yep.
8 a.m. and
Or
crap, it's closed.
closed permanently, something like that comes up. But my biggest problem, and we won't go into this show, is that I've switched over full time to Microsoft, and it's not Cortana's fault. It's the back end of Cortana, which is Bing. Bing gives me horrific search results, and I know people are going to go crazy. So yes, it gives me a top one or two results that sort of match what I'm searching for, but result number 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 is all spam. I am sorry, but Bing is filled, at least for me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I've reset my searches. I've made sure my country's set up. I've tried turning on and trying to turn safe search on and off. I get horrible results from Bing, and that is going to what's holds back Cortana, because Cortana is awesome. They need to improve Bing. They need to clean up the search results, and they got to find a way to form partnerships like Google did to really give you location info. And so it doesn't just tell you, yes, here's the name of the place, here's the address. When are they open? What are some reviews? Either pull from Yelp or from yellowpages.com or from something. Give me some kind of information. Or is this really the restaurant, or is this the corporate headquarters of Olive Garden? You know what I mean? Because you will see that stuff start to happen. But when you get those full details from Google, that's how you know it's the right place. Because you're like, oh yeah, sometimes they'll show you a picture. You're like, oh yeah, it has the green front. It's in the strip mall over there on the corner. That's the one I want. But that's something I think Microsoft is really playing Cortana big, right? And I think they need to work on Bing. I really do. I think they need to move some of their attention to Bing, because that's what's going to really make Cortana something that people want to use on Spartan, on Windows 10, on their phones, tablets, etc.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just a little thing. Just a little thing. Just fix Bing.
Because I got to be honest, if I could make Cortana's default search engine Google, I would.
I can see that. A lot of people are going to be yelling at me, but why do I hate Windows?
Now, for the record, I don't use Google anymore, but I'm struggling. I have to do extra work every time I search because of it.
There's a Google app. You go to google.com if you feel that badly about it. I have yet to run into anything like that, but I'm enjoying it so far. I've used it since Saturday. I've had it in my pocket pretty much the whole time since I've been here, since it got here, and I'm really enjoying it.
Is the Icon the best Windows phone you've ever used?
That's a loaded question, because I'm going to say no, and people are going to disagree with me like crazy. I'm going to say it was the 928.
Its immediate predecessor. So what was the 928 comparable to? The 925?
Yes.
But for Verizon?
Yes, and it had glance, and it had tap to wake. And
your phone should have tap to wake. They added it to the 930. I thought they added it to the Icon.
No.
It was not a shipping. It was not in the firmware for the shipping model, but it has been added. You might need to get
it would be in lock screen.
No, it's something else.
Let's find it. Chat room. Icon tap to wake. I don't think.
I know the 930 has it.
I don't think it's happening, kids.
Let's see here. Where would this be? Now, this is, again, I'm using this as my daily driver, folks. I have been for a while. This setting screen, I still get lost.
I know.
I know where it is. It's something I go to all the time, and I can't find it. So thank goodness 8.1 Update 2 coming on the 640 XL lets you pin settings to the start menu. And thank goodness Windows 10 is cleaning this bad boy up. It's still confusing on Windows 10. It's not perfect.
Display, sunlight readability, battery saver brightness, brightness profile, color profile. It's not under display.
Is it under touch? Do you have something called touch?
Touch, advanced settings, touch sensitivity normal, nav bar on.
Oh. Sorry, Dave.
It doesn't have it. It's a physical limitation.
It's not a physical limitation because the 930 has it.
I don't know. Maybe it's Verizon.
I believe you need to get SysApp Pusher, and you need to update all those setting apps because each one of those is a separate app, and I think some of your apps are out of date. That's my 2 cents.
So I need to search for what?
SysApp Pusher.
Okay, I'm going. I'm going. I'm
You
going.
remember that app, right? For those who don't know, it's an app that goes to the Windows Store. Because sometimes when you search for Windows Store, things don't always show up, even if there's an update, right? This
Right.
thing goes to the Nokia owned servers or whoever that owns them now, right? And says, what is the latest version of this app? And it makes it available for download through the Windows Store.
Someone else also said it's under touch,
Oh, so
but
I was right, Dave?
it's
With
not under
regards to that?
touch. I'll go again.
So it's funny. I like the glance screen. I like the idea of
There's
it,
touch.
but I almost never use it. So people are going to get mad at me for that. But I'm actually don't get upset when glance isn't on a phone. I would prefer that it be there, yes, but it does not bother me too much. Now the double tap to wake. Once you get used to it, it's really nice to have it.
It's hard to get unused to it. I keep tapping on the screen. I mean, it's no big deal. I don't mind reaching over and finding the button, but I'm
Because
just
even on the
telling you.
HTC One, it had it, but you had to have it in your hand. It was actually motion that did it, not the double tap. So like with a Lumia, you can leave it on the table and just double tap.
So
But
SysApp Pusher, I need to install that, right?
yeah, I would get that. It's going to check
Cool.
all your system apps to tell you which ones are out of date, and cross your fingers.
Okay. So that's installing. So again, this is not a gripe session, and you know what? They've probably all heard. Everybody who listens to Surface Geeks has heard this podcast about 10 times. That's how many times I change phones.
Yeah, I think I want you to use Windows Phone, and I want you to forget about some of the stuff that you were kind of worrying about, and I just enjoy the platform and look for the I'm not saying ignore the bad stuff, but look for the positives. You know, get impressed that hey, a lot of your apps are there, as opposed to what some of the perceptions are.
You know, I haven't had that. That's the first thing. I haven't said, oh, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. I'm not running into that anymore. I mean, the only things, it doesn't have Amazon Music, but now I have OneDrive Music.
Woohoo!
I can put music in my OneDrive folder, and I was streaming Twisted Sister today, and just as a test. And so I'm digging that. That's kind of cool. I like that. So I just need to make some playlists and kind of recreate what I have out there on Amazon, and I'll be fine with Xbox Music. What was the other one? It was the haircut app, John.
Great clips, man. Thank
Great
goodness for the
clips.
browser. It works in the browser, though, Dave.
It does work in the browser.
You can pin that page to your home screen.
You know, when I usually use it, I grab my boys and I start driving, and at a red light, I open the app and I check us in. So.
Well, I actually live really close, so I hate to check in at home because I can get there in 10 minutes still, but it says it's like a 0-minute wait. So it's like, do you check in? Because if you don't check in, by the time you get there, someone's in front of you, right? So
Yeah.
But I will sometimes, put myself on the road, see what traffic's like, and then like you said, add a stoplight. First stoplight I get to, I'm gonna check myself.
Yeah. Well, you want to check it. If it says 50 minutes, then you just check in right then, right?
Well, yeah. Or there's like 3 or 4 great clips within 10, 15 minutes of my house. So.
Yeah, but there's always that one hot chick that works at that one.
Great clips all the way.
To.
You want a guy that cut hair in the Navy, Chaz, best hairstylist I've ever had.
Okay, there you go.
Go ahead, Jim.
Well, John, I could cut hair like what you're wearing.
Hey, you think this is easy? Peekaboo hairs, man. Peekaboo hairs are killer.
You got to get it level.
Work with fluorescent hair.
It's not like any of us have really long hair. Let's just say that.
Okay, so John, update me on your Windows Phone, and then we'll move into Surface.
No, I'm still here. I'm still loving it. I'm not missing anything. I don't know if I can hold out for the 640 XL, and then also I don't know if I don't want to have a flagship and I need to wait till the fall or whenever we think it's going to be. So don't be surprised if I have a new phone. And I must say I've dropped this phone more than any phone that I've ever owned.
Why?
And I'm starting to have it's slippery, Dave. It's very slippery. Do you guys have I don't think any of you have the black 635. You have like glossy ones or.
Well, this is the same thing. This is a bar of soap.
Right.
This icon.
It just goes right out of your hand. So I guess I could buy a case for it, but if I keep adding accessories to the 635, I might as well get a flagship. But it just isn't working as well as it was, and I know I'm hoping it's not the OS just falling apart, but I don't know why it would be because the way Windows is set up, everything's kind of sandboxed. But I don't think I installed on Android you can install one app and your whole phone goes to mud. You know what I mean? and iOS can now start causing some issues because they're adding so many features to it. But I think with Windows Phone, I think we're safe to know it's probably not just one app that I installed that is giving me some issues. Although Skype isn't exactly the speediest performer on this phone. It's funny. You think it would be being a Microsoft branded app, but I feel they need to work on Skype and not just concede to Facebook. But we can talk about that some other day. But yeah, I'm really happy. I'm all in, guys. I'm not going anywhere when it comes to Windows Phone.
So you want the XL. I saw that Windows Central said that XL is going to be AT&T only, so you're good. You're good there.
Yeah, 1 gig of RAM, only a 400. I don't know. I'm afraid that I'm gonna love the body and I'm not gonna love the internals. That I'm still gonna be like, I'm seeing like the HTC One M8. Never saw the resume screen once. Dave, do you see the resume screen on the icon?
I haven't switched enough. I haven't used apps enough, John, to be honest with you.
Okay. So yeah, keep trying to use your icon. But yeah, you guys know Windows Phone. It's something that you see a lot, the resuming, and we're not used to it coming from Android, especially a Nexus 6 with a Snapdragon 805 and 3 gigs of RAM and a Quad HD display. So I would like to not see resume quite as much as I do. But of course, I only have 512 RAM on this. The 640 and 640 XL have a gig, but the HTC One and the 930 have 2 gigs of RAM, and of course Snapdragon 800 or better processors. So we'll see. I have a feeling I'll have a new phone sooner rather than later, but we'll see.
Does Tweetium not? Maybe. Okay. I don't know. I thought Tweetium synced if I read a direct message or not. It's interesting.
There's some settings. I use Tweet Marker. I don't think that works for direct messages, but I don't. You're talking between versions of Tweetium, so Tweetium on Surface and Tweetium on your phone. Will it sync your reds?
Right.
It might.
I've been flipping it. I haven't seen resume, John. Honestly, I flip in and
you
out.
Probably won't on that phone.
Of Maps and Tweetium
But you see it on a phone with 512 megabytes of RAM.
Sure. You do.
And I didn't have the 830 very long. I didn't love that hardware, although we can talk about maybe that some people might have snagged that at a decent price. But I felt I saw resume a little bit more on the 830 than I would have liked to.
So the 830 went on sale, did it not, or was that a faux sale?
It was a faux, it was a mistake. What was funny was I got one in my cart. I ended up not buying it, and then we found out that it was a mistake, and there was debate on whether Microsoft honors that or not. We think they're going to. But Microsoft will suddenly send you a reminder, hey, you got something in your cart. Did you forget to check out? And it showed the Lumia 830 at $249 unlocked. And I said, actually, just to bust them, I should say, yeah, I'm ready to complete my cart. So yeah, but it was almost I think a good hour it was out there. So oddly enough, the AT&T model variant was cheaper. It was $50 less, so you can get it for $200, which includes the green back, the black back, and the Fitbit. You could also get the 830 unlocked, also compatible with AT&T and some other U.S. carriers for $249, just with the black back.
And you weren't happy with that.
So you know how on your phone it's an aluminum band and the very back is a piece of polycarbonate?
Yes.
It's not meant to be removed on the 930. You can remove it. There's some videos out there, but you're not really supposed to remove it. So the 830s is removable. That's how you got to the SIM card, the SD card slot, and the battery. It was really flimsy, Dave. And the connection I felt for the Qi charging wasn't that great, so I had wireless charging problems, I felt it overheated because it was struggling to wirelessly charge. The back was flimsy. The cases that I saw and one that I tried actually added too much thickness and weight to it, and it just wasn't a great experience.
This back on the icon is what makes this, to me, makes this a non-flagship phone. It's kind of cheap. I don't know if you can hear me tapping on it.
It's because they want to have Qi there, and they didn't want to put glass, I guess. So
it's very thin. And I don't want glass back here either.
Right.
But it's squishy.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it's full of air back here. It just feels almost like it's kind of 520-ish.
I know, and it's a shame because the sides and the front are the best of the best.
Oh, it's gorgeous. And the sides are actually like it's like Samsung Edge glass. It kind of wraps around. No, it doesn't wrap around, but it does kind of curve. You can feel it. It curves in and kind of flattens. It's really cool glass.
It actually makes doing the gestures on the screen a lot better, but then of course Windows Phone doesn't have nearly as many gestures as the other OSs have. But it's nice. Yeah, it's a really nice device. I think you're going to end up picking up a case, then you won't notice that quote unquote lower.
I'm gonna
quality
have
battery.
to. I'm gonna have to jump on Amazon. I saw one of the cases that I used the last time, and it's a snap-on. It's a very thin. It kind of has a little fuzzy feel to it. I can't remember the actual case name, but it's a fuzzy, grippy case. And I'm gonna have to do that. And I thought actually I might look for a glass screen protector too. I've never run a. I don't run screen protectors ever.
Sure. So I highly recommend glass screen protectors, but Dave, on that phone, because of that rounded glass you just talked about, it's not going to sit right. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be a beautiful
Right.
thing. You're going to have a flat piece of glass on top of a curved piece of glass. So I don't want you to get a bad taste in your mouth for glass screen protectors, because on a flat phone they're really, really nice. Flat glass.
Okay. So I don't want to slide over a piece of plastic on top of my phone. I
don't think you
hate
need a screen
that.
protector on that. I mean, I guess if you're worried about dropping it, but I think that glass can take a licking.
Okay.
Gorilla
Okay.
Glass 3, baby.
So I'm just going to go for Lumia Icon case, and I'm searching it. I want to tell you.
You can also look for 930 cases, by the way, if you need some more variety.
Okay. It's called
And the 929.
$8, a quicksand hard matte skin case.
So I believe the quicksand is like what the back of the OnePlus One a little bit, right?
Yeah, it's got that little fuzzy kind of feel to it.
Is that available with Prime shipping, Dave?
Yeah, it's $8. Let's just go ahead and get that. Hey, I can get it in green. That would be cute. I would look green. All right. Enough Windows Phone. This is a Surface podcast. We're 1 hour and 13 minutes, and we're going to start talking Surface. But hey, we always have next week, right? A lot of rumors hitting the rumor mill. Even today, John. Something hit today where I think it was WinBeta. I should just bring up the WinBeta site. And where these guys got exclusive, they even put exclusive on their post. Microsoft is going to build a successor to Surface 2, or otherwise known as RT. Did you see this post?
Of course I did.
Do you believe these guys?
Yes.
Look at these guys.
Yeah, of course I do.
That seems reasonable. Surface 3, right? Just
I've been wondering.
atom-based.
Yeah, I've been wondering, what they're going to do with that line, and I've wanted them to do an atom-based Surface for a while now. No matter what the screen size is, I think there should be at least one out there. And again, there's also rumor from other sites. They're saying it could be more of a Core M device. I'm all for that. It's about the same performance, just maybe the graphics processing unit will be better. Of course, we're talking about a Cherry Trail Atom, Cherry Trail like cherry tree, Cherry Trail Atom, and that'll have really mainly an increase in GPU. It's a Broadwell class GPU with the Atom processor, very low power, no fan will be needed. Same with the Core M, no fan would be needed. You would have performance on par with the new MacBook and the new Asus UX 305. I'm taking a guess there, something like that. But there's a lot of and the new Samsung Ativ Book 9. These are all hitting the market around the same time. 2015 style processors, all fanless. They push them as being very powerful. I believe for certain applications they are. Things like Chrome have been struggling. Video editing probably struggle. Might be able to do some simple audio editing, but for your Windows Store apps, going to be fine, going to be great. For Office, it's going to be great. Apps like that. So I'm really interested to see what they do. The reason I lean towards Core M, because I think they can come out with a device that has the power of the new MacBook for like a third of the price, and I think they wouldn't mind doing that.
I think I would rather see the Core M rather than the Atom. I don't want to ever see an Atom full Windows based tablet. I think that's been covered quite a bit in these HPs and all this.
Yeah, and obviously this would be the newest Atom, but I think there's a perception thing there.
There is.
Because it actually isn't that bad, right? I mean, we've all used some of these devices and we're surprised. I mean, we've used Atom devices with 1 gig of RAM, and they run Office, and it's not that bad of an experience. But the price point is what interests me here. So you have a $699 Surface Pro 3, right? Oh no, is it $799? I keep thinking about what you and I paid, but it's $799 today, right? So is this $499 and $599 price points that we're looking at? I mean, you're not going to get too much closer to that, right? You need at least a $100 gap or $200 gap. So think about what they could offer at that price point. Could be pretty compelling.
Gosh, that's a stretch, John. That's back into launching Surface RT at $599, and
Do you think it's gonna be less than $499?
I don't know. I worry for the platform. I do. I think this may be. I honestly think that these leaks may even be roadmap leaks that might not even happen. There's quite a possibility that that's just someone has gotten roadmap leaks.
Possible. I mean, some people have said the 12-inch tablet is too large for them. I mean, if they're more of a tablet user, they might want more of a 10-inch class device. Some people miss the Surface Pro 2, the Surface 2, the Surface RT. Mm-hmm. Do you need something in that size? And if you do, you're probably not going to give it a Broadwell because your flagship Surface Pro 3 doesn't have Broadwell. So it's not going to be RT. We know that, right? We don't even need to discuss that. It's going to be x86 or x64 based.
I like a safe bet. A safe bet would be a Surface Pro 3 update in the fall and a Win 10 Surface Pro 4.
Dave, then what is this thing going at build? What is this rumored device going to developers at build?
But
so could it be the Surface Pro 4 sent only to developers at build, that they get it early and they'll run Windows 10 developer builds, but it'll be a preview of the hardware we're getting when it ships? No, I mean Windows 10 is not ready in April, Dave. No way, right?
I don't think it's it. I mean, build has what did they do last year? And the year previous was an Acer piece of crap.
Yeah.
A W3.
Yeah. They've never done their own hardware, I don't think, right?
And last year didn't they just sell the Surface 2 for like $75 or something?
Right. It was a steep discount. See, I guess I just want to see a new Surface product of some kind because I want to see them not wait for Windows 10. I want to see what they're doing with the phones, and I still wish they'd not hold back a flagship. But let's just say I want to see them continue to innovate on their hardware. Dave, there could be just a spec bump to the current Surface Pro 3, right? They could just call it that. I mean, Apple does that all the time. They come up with a new MacBook Air, same exact MacBook Air, lasts 4 years, right? Just a brand new process, not even really brand new, but a new processor, maybe a little bit more RAM, maybe $100 less, something like that, right? So, I mean, so are you thinking what about a Surface Pro 3 as we know today, but it's a Core M and it's $200 less?
Well, here's what I always go back to, and I like that thought. I do. I would love for it to get into more people's hands with a cheaper price, because it would. I hold on to a quote, and I don't quote me because I've never found it in print.
I hold on to a quote, but don't quote me.
Well, exactly. As someone said, and I don't remember who said it, that the Surface Pro 3 dock was going to serve you well into the future.
It was the accessories.
Correct.
There was an implication made via quote that this form factor would stick around.
Correct.
And I think you and I understand that because we think it's a great form factor. There's so much you could do with it. I mean, you could even pack a larger screen in the same form factor if you really wanted to. Well, I'm not saying that they would, Dave, but I'm just saying that you could keep the exact same form factor.
Yeah, they can get another year or two worth of chipsets into this same form factor. They
And-
don't have to change the thickness at all. It's fine where it's at.
Even if they did want to make it thinner, Dave, you could still use the current touch cover, and you could just include an adapter in the box. So if you bought the dock, it would support it better. You know what I mean? Like every accessory, as long as you didn't change the height and the width, right?
Well, see, that's what lends me to believe Surface Pro 3 spec bump, quieter, speed, more efficiency.
More RAM on some models, maybe.
Possible. I think what they have right now is fine. I think
Don't make us keep overpaying for that 8 gigs.
No, it is. It's very pricey at the high end to get to the 8 gigs. It is, but I would like to see that move down. I would like to see it pushed down. Get some more Surface Pro 2 folks to convert. But that's what makes me think it's going to be a spec bump. And if you think that because I have a Surface MVP sticker on the back of my Pro 3, that doesn't mean that I get any information. I get less information than the news people do. So what I'm saying is not privy.
So could you see them coming out with a Surface Pro 3, current build, current design, you throw in a Core M, you sell it for $499?
See, I don't like the Core M play. I don't.
John, I think that makes sense.
Thanks,
But
John.
I don't think it's a Surface Pro 3.
Right. No, I totally agree with you. I don't think that's the name.
Not Pro.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a Surface 3.
Right.
I think we're done, right? I think it's going to be Surface 4. They're
Really?
going to skip it completely. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense to go with a 3 right now. That name's
Right.
been out there a while, and we know the Pro 4s are coming. I mean, they are. They're on the edge this fall, right?
Oh, so you're saying there can be a Surface 4 soon. There just doesn't have to be a Pro 4.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
so they
I
launched
like
this
that.
new Surface 4.
Yeah.
This is the $499 deal. It goes out with that form factor. It hits the market there in the summer. It's Windows 10 or something,
Right.
variety of it. Or your idea of maybe they leak this to the developers early. They don't sell it retail to create a demand. They're
Right.
getting really good at that, by the way, of leaking things with minimal product. I mean, they're taking the Nintendo approach to this, leaking it, minimal hardware, creating demand for it, making it exclusive. They could leak those out here this summer with developer builds on them, and then Pro 4 and 4 launch in the fall with those chipsets.
Right. And one advantage is rock solid drivers, firmware, software, because it's been in the hands of developers.
Yeah.
And apps ready
It's
to
like
go.
a beta hardware launch.
Yeah.
In some regards,
Yeah.
right?
I really like that.
To me, that makes the most sense.
I like that idea. I didn't think about that, but
I cannot
I still
say
think there'll
yay
be
or nay.
But I still think there'll be a consumer piece of hardware to buy.
I can't say
May.
yay or nay on this whole build thing. So most of me wants to say no. I don't think so. But the other part of me wants to say 1 week from now, Wednesday.
We're
What is
getting
it?
to
April Fool's.
early April. Yeah.
April 1st. I think by April 1st we know. I think by April 1st we know. Whether we know officially or whether we know unofficially with more intense leaks, I think we know. That's only 7 days. I'm really
No, it's
laying it out there,
have
but
to pick up pretty fast. You know.
well, and it is. In
Yeah.
the last 2 days, it is ramped. It is really ramped. And Microsoft is, to me, I say that because they are the kind of company that when the leaks start ramping up, they're just like, okay, here it is.
Like the Microsoft band, right? It'll just show up for sale one day in the
Figured it
store.
out. Here it is.
I still think there needs to be something at the $449, $549 price points. There's a gap there right now, right? So, because even the OEMs, they're focusing on the 79, the 99, the 149, the 299. I've always felt there's a gap at the $500 price point when it comes to even laptops. You can get really cheap laptops and you can get really expensive laptops, but why can't you get a really nice, well-rounded laptop for $500?
Then let's do a Core M in the Surface Pro 3 form factor.
Yeah.
And make it fanless and make it 4 gigs of RAM and 64 gig SSD.
And that's your 4. That's your
Yeah.
Surface 4 right there.
No, that's your Surface 3.
Oh, I think that naming's gone. I think
Really?
it's too late. We're only a year into the name already.
They could drop numbers altogether and just call that the Surface.
True. No,
Could be
right
the
on.
Surface Pro, the Surface and the Surface
And
Pro.
every
Yeah.
year around this time, there's a new Surface
Yeah,
with the current Intel chipset inside of it.
in that factor.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could. You're right. They could. I don't know if they will, but
No.
I think they're done with 3. I
Yeah.
think 4 is the next. And again, I don't know any info either. So.
Right. And again, I'm sure eventually the numbers go all together because you're not going to Surface Pro 6.
Well, until they
Surface
get to
Pro
10.
7.
Until they
true.
get to 10.
But, not saying they have to be like Apple, but you know what? Have a Surface Pro, and then put the year after it, or you have some other model number that's,
I like
the nerds
Surface
know.
Pro.
But, yeah.
I like Surface and Surface Pro.
Yeah.
Getting rid of Windows. Getting rid of
Numbers.
numbers, names, Windows 95 kind of era.
Yeah.
And then eventually getting rid of Windows. Your Surface just comes with an operating system.
It's just
and
Surface.
It's always there.
Surface Pro 4 has been said so many times by so many people who get the leaks right most of the time
Yep.
now. I don't think if they're going to do that, I don't think they're going to do that now. I think we will see a 4 in some capacity.
We
I think
also
we'll
thought
see
we
it-
were going to get Windows 1.
Yeah, well, I think we'll see Surface 4 too, Jim, because I think they're going to want to keep selling the Surface Pro 3 at
Right.
some price points. Like maybe the i3 or the i5 stick around as Surface Pro 3 models.
Maybe those drop down. Maybe
Yeah.
that's your $599 price point, right?
Yeah.
The Core i3 64 drops down.
$200 off. Yep.
Boom. You're in.
The old form factor of my RT sitting here, the Surface Pro 2, Surface Pro, is gone.
Yeah. And my daughter has she has my old RT, and she uses that thing like crazy. I ask her every month or so, hey, is that thing still working for you? Oh, yeah, it's great. I love it. So that's humming along. She's figured out how to work around all that stuff, and she loves it. But yeah, I think that size, Dave, is what you're saying, and form factor, right?
Correct.
For now. Yeah, I don't think there's a compelling reason to go different. They've got a nice niche there with that screen size, and I think they learned from Surface Pro 3 that works for that at that size. It's a great tablet, says John.
It is.
It's a great tablet. Hey, did you guys know it's a tablet too?
Well, I love my Surface Pro 3, but because I use it as a tablet, sometimes I'm like, it could be a little smaller. I don't
Really, So when I recruit with it, sometimes when I'm on the road and college campuses, I'm at the the tables. We're doing campus recruiting, and I love to just hold that thing in my hand and just So instead of having my phone out or whatever, and it's just a great size, and you can show some stuff on it. Hey, come look at this. And so for that type of application, it works very, very well. I would not want it to be any smaller for that.
I think you and I don't, but I think if a consumer was, hey, I heard about tablets, people have iPads, 10-inch, 9 inches. There's, it looks like Samsung's going to align with the iPad this year. That's what the rumor is. They're going to do 8 and 9.7 because Samsung loves to copy. And I'm not saying Microsoft should, right? I want Microsoft to be different. But, there's still a rumored Surface Mini coming back at some point, right? So will we have a full lineup eventually? Or, again, I would not put it past them to keep this exact shell and just change some of the internals.
Yeah.
What I would hate for them to do is mess with the screen, right, Dave? We don't want to see them throw a 1366 by 768 panel in here so they can make an extra $5 or whatever.
Well, I just want to see my HP Stream 7. That's charging back here. Guess where this was the last time we podcasted?
Same place.
Right there.
Yeah.
That's where it stayed the whole week. I don't touch it.
Yeah.
I don't touch it.
No.
I would love to use that thing. I think it's cool. It's little. It's cool. But I have a Surface Pro 3.
I don't know where you do use it.
Why do I want
I've thought about leaving mine in the bathroom. I know it sounds crazy, but
that's a great idea.
I've already dropped my Surface Pro 3 on the tile in the bathroom once. I'd rather just leave my Stream 8 in there.
Drop
Get
it.
a nice little wall
It's got a
mount.
stand. You just put it right in front of you on
It
the
was my
tile.
first day, and I wasn't used to the stand being so cool and changeable. So yeah, now I use the stand because if you use the stand, you just wrap your fingers around that bad boy, and she's a lot less likely to go down. So
It's I just like it mounted on a retractable thing on the wall. You can just kind of pull it off, and, and double.
Oh yeah, a little arm thing, or
Yeah,
like the magnetic car mounts we have, but for the
exactly.
7-inch
For the
tablet,
wall.
it's right
Yeah.
behind right behind the toilet, right underneath
Mhm.
I
the
still
paper
need to
dispenser.
experiment with this one in doing just making it an all-time music device. Like screen on all the time, always plugged in, like mounted, just like you said, Jim, mounted to something, and with an icon to Xbox Music, and that's it. It's
It
just
actually
always on Xbox Music
it
playlist.
fits great above my steering wheel in the car. I can't tell how fast I'm going then when I put it there, but it actually fits really great there. That you know how where the steering wheel meets the dash, there's like that little dip. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you could get it, if you got a wireless hotspot in your car and you put it there and you're using the Here Drive,
Right.
it'll tell you how fast you're going.
My Stream 8's got 4G, baby. I don't even know how
You're good, man. You just make that your dashboard.
You
car.
Yeah, I might have to do that.
There you go. You got a $79 dashboard, and you can change it out and upgrade it anytime you want.
Yeah.
I haven't found that 7-inch form factor. For me, I can't. It's in that weird spot.
It's a big phone, really.
Yeah, it is. It's just in a weird spot. It's too big to really like walk and do stuff with at the same time because you got to really double fist it, and you can't, and then it's too small to do real productivity on. Come on, serious. I mean, it's just too small. So that I like where it's at now. I like a 5 or 6-inch phone, and I like a 12-inch Ultrabook or Surface.
I like my tablet to be about twice the size of my phone. So if you have a large screen phone, like some of us do. If let's say I get the 640 XL 5.7, times that by 2, you're getting really close to the Surface 12. And that's why I think some people with the iPad Mini, I think people have the iPhone 4, 4S. I think the iPad Mini is great. But if you have the iPhone 5, or especially if you have the iPhone 6, that iPad Mini is not getting a lot of use.
No, you're like, this sucks. This is what am I doing with this thing? I might as well just.
I mean, whether or not we're going to love it, if it comes out, I think we're going to see a lot of professionals with the iPad Pro, which is going to be the Surface Pro 3 size, and their iPhone 6 Plus. And I think you'll see a lot of people move into large phone, large tablet, or some kind of Ultrabook.
Very well.
Well, Dave, just as a side note, I mentioned earlier I've moved to Windows 10 on the Surface, and I said I would upgrade with the next build, and I'm not sure that was a great idea, but I thought it's not my everyday driver. I might as well get it on there. And
did you wait for the ISO?
No.
So you installed the old build and upgraded in place.
Yep. Yeah. I installed the 9926 or whatever it was, and then it upgrades. And it takes an hour and a half.
Did you start clean?
I did not start clean. I upgraded with what was on there. No, I wanted to see what the experience would be like.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, and I had some software on there, running some Bitdefender and some other things on there that I wanted to see how that would work. I do use it when I'm on the road to do some podcast editing and stuff, and no problems. I haven't tried to produce a podcast on it yet, so I haven't tried like Audacity, but I'm not worried about that stuff. The underlying kernel is stable enough, I think. At this point, they're not making the most of the big changes there, but I haven't really experienced very many problems with it. I've had it on there 4 or 5 days. I'm trying to use it just as much as I can. Pen works, OneNote works, Write's fine, Continuum works. You have to change that by default. It's turned off. So you have to go in there and turn that on so that it will do the tablet mode with the keyboard, and that works great. Pull the keyboard off, and now the on-screen keyboard works. Put it back on, that goes away. That's what it should have been from the very beginning, but it works out. Because that's my biggest complaint about the Surface is that on-screen keyboard keeps popping up on me, and I'm like, oh, I got a keyboard attached. Dumbass, stop doing that. And so it's got some, for me, it's worked great. I think I wouldn't advise it for everybody at this point. Maybe one more build. Next build, maybe.
I hated it. The first build I hated.
I was almost going to wait for build until I felt like there may be, some kind of milestone release. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this stuff's done. We're working on this other stuff still, but because I just don't want to have to. I don't want to have a sour experience yet. Like, I'm enjoying everything too much, and especially because I'm more of a tablet user, I'm not going to leverage too many of like what's you call Continuum. I'll use that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Once.
No, you'll want to use Continuum.
Yeah.
That needs to be turned on by default.
Yeah. I am looking forward to that, and that might maybe make me like the keyboard a little bit better. So.
Yeah, you want Continuum, Data Sense, Storage Sense, all those cool things that are coming with Windows 10.
Yeah.
Great. I hated it. I upgraded in place, and I completely wiped out the Surface in order to get it off. It completely destroyed my workflow. I did not like it whatsoever.
It was one thing. I've been working with Windows 10 enough now in VMs here as I've been testing it and doing stuff with it that I've actually, when I go to Windows 8, I get really frustrated now because the menu is horrible, right? The Windows 8 menu workflow is awful. Now, once you're on Windows 10 and it works the way it should, the way I feel. So it made a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to me. I haven't had those same workflow issues on it now. I'm super comfortable on it because I've been working on Windows 10 so much with the prior builds. So it's made a lot of sense to me. Now I coming out of hibernation, sometimes I get an error and I got to reboot. So it is there are some instability issues with it that I think again, you got to be willing to mess around with that from that standpoint.
I'm not blaming the build either. I'm not blaming Windows 10. It was just too early. I shouldn't have done it, and I knew. I was like, well, I'll just blow it away. I'll start fresh, and it's no big deal.
I like this new build. I mean, I like it. It's got stability problems, but for me, it's what I've been hoping for on the Surface, which is the keyboard problems and the menus getting fixed.
Yeah.
And then there's a simplified, for those who don't know, on Windows 10, there's simplified. All the system menus are getting simplified and are better for touch. Now they've got a lot of work to do on those still. Looks like a third grader drew some of them, but it's coming, and they're really thinking through this. So I think by the time we get to Windows 10, it's going to won't be perfect, but it's going to be pretty good. I think Windows 10 on a Surface, lights out when we get there.
It's going to be lights out. It's going to be lights out on a phone too.
Yeah.
Because I love it on the 635, and I really cannot wait to get it on a Lumia flagship phone, and I hope that they release one to Verizon. If they don't, John, I'm thinking it might be my time to buy out my contract and go GSM carrier. So I can SIM swap. I'm a SIM swapper. So
I know it's great. I gotta tell you, it's really nice and never have to worry about that.
Yeah.
The worst thing you have to worry about is supportive bands. Whether if you wanted to import some international devices, they might not have the proper bands for LTE,
Right.
but you almost always, at a minimum, get HSPA plus.
And I'm going on a European vacation this summer, so I have to make sure I'm ready for that as well. So
you better have a Windows phone on that trip because I want to see some great photos. I want to see like the end of European vacation with Chevy Chase, and they show all the photos of all the places they went. I want that for the McCabe family.
No, I just want that German beer wench.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing of you in that outfit.
That's all I'm thinking when we're
Big
going.
Ben Parliament.
Big Man Parliament, yeah. Exactly. Look, kids.
I want you to go to Italy and buy some cool clothing.
Actually, that's all we're doing is Italy.
Oh, that's all you need, Dave.
That's all we're doing. So
Beautiful.
I can't wait to use the camera. I go outside. If the sun comes out, I go outside and take pictures.
Yeah.
So
Well, with that phone, you don't necessarily have to wait for the sun, do you?
nope. It's got a great camera. So I hope you guys didn't mind all the Windows Phone talk. I'm a little excited about my new phone. John and everybody else, guess where my G3 is? It's still in the car.
Same place you left it.
Don't
I
leave it.
left it in the car by accident, and I completely forgot it. It's because I walked in holding my icon saying,
Feed me,
Finally.
Nano SIM.
So,
Well, yeah, I was just thinking of Dave. I'm in Florida. If I left my phone in the car, it would be dead by now. But where you live,
Right.
you can leave things in your car.
Right. It's locked up in a garage, so. I am going to go for a podcast app. I'm using the stock one now.
I actually like that app, believe it or not.
No, it works well.
Yeah, it does.
It works well.
I mean, there's no playlist support, but it does what it's supposed to do. It refreshes your feed and it downloads the podcast.
Right.
Or streams. Sorry, I should leave.
I get everything I need. I mean, I've got them loaded up on my phone.
Yeah. And I'm a big
They work.
podcast listener, so
Yeah.
I
me too.
really loathe to go back through and load all my shows
So
and
that's
every
my
single
problem.
app and
That
try them and try them and try them.
is that stock app does not sync any way, shape, or form.
Oh.
So how does it not have OneDrive support for OPML? So there's a lot of apps you can export your feed. Like if you use Android, an app like Pocket Cast, you can export to OPML, put on OneDrive, and then Dave, most of the apps you're going to try will have OPML importers. So you just got to import. Done. Feeds are there. But with that Microsoft app, I've been hopping devices, manually adding my feed.
Okay. So
That's not
I'll
a bad
export.
exercise. You get rid of some stuff that you didn't need, right?
Well,
Stuff
but
you're not
like now
listening
that I'm
to.
on Windows Phone, all my Android specific podcasts are gone. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sure.
but like now that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
I'm
I
doing it.
s-
And then with Windows
yeah.
10 builds, you might be wiping things out, and
Yeah, yeah.
so that's my only complaint. Otherwise, great app.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I get along. Hopefully, next week and the week after, I won't have any big things to report to you. I'll just report to you that I'm doing everything quite handily. I think I'm going to use it more involved this time, like maybe some photo editing and do all the apps and movie editing. I want to try all the different things. I want to try things that I wasn't doing on the Android phone. The Android phone, I was pretty basic in the use, but
You were playing games, Dave. That's what you were doing.
I did play some games, and I did do screenshots of all the icons I was using, and it's very basic. You're gonna look at those screenshots and go, dude, why weren't
You had an
it's
Android
easy.
flagship for that.
Yeah, I know I have a $700 phone for that. Seriously, but hey, we're gonna get out of here. It's been Surface Geeks 88. Find us in the forums. We're gonna be talking about Surface Pro, whatever it's gonna be, coming up in the near future. So hopefully it is in the near future. Hey, I'm Dave for Mr. John Muskowski for Mr. Jim Collison. Thank you very much for listening. We'll see you back here next week. Goodbye. Wow, that took a long time.
That was a
Thank,
long show.
thanks, YouTubers. Thanks, chat room.
Sorry I wasn't in the chat room tonight, guys. I was working while podcasting, so that was fun.
Well, my HP Stream imported all of my OneDrive music, but it's not. It said it was going to go to the marketplace and get an update, but it's split screen and it didn't get the updates.
So it's funny on my Surface Pro 3, I allow it to suggest updates for other Microsoft apps besides Windows, right? That's how you'll get like a Silverlight update or some drivers and things like that. So the desktop version of Skype now shows up in Windows Update. Anyone else notice that?
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
Now, one time I did install the desktop version of Skype, so I'm wondering if that's why I uninstalled it. I wanted to see if I liked it any better than the modern UI version, but
Yeah.
that showed up, and some kind of driver for a Western Digital hard drive. Never plugged one of those in, so I thought some very odd things popped up.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, I installed it because I'm sick, but
Okay,
what's
let's
the
look at
worst that could
this.
happen?
Sysat Pusher. Let's look at this. So this is the post-show YouTubers. There's
Get your
Microsoft
snacks, get your
Mobile, Microsoft, Samsung, HTC, and My Apps and updates. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, that app helps you get all system apps. So if you happen to have a HTC app, it'll help you know if your HTC applications are as up to date as they should be.
And it'll tell you if your phone's not authorized to use that app, too.
It says a lot of version is unknown.
Yeah, almost all of them will probably say that.
Okay, yes, they all do. So what do I do now? Let's look at the hamburger here. Back up to OneDrive, restore to OneDrive, log out from OneDrive, remove ads, and about. Check. Why don't I just hit check? Checking. We're checking. Here we go. Now it's populating all the versions, updates, live lock screen beta.
That's not one of the apps I wanted you to get.
I don't have that installed. I don't know why. Live lock screen.
Well, no, it's all the apps.
Oh.
that you could possibly want, whether they're built-in system apps or, Nokia for a while was always doing like, hey, you can try this new lock screen version or, this new thing you could try if you want. But look for something for touch or display, something that's going to help you get to what you're looking for.
Microsoft. Business, entertainment, lifestyle, music, news, social, tools. Network speed test. Now this is completely confusing. I don't understand this thing at all. Updates, Microsoft Mobile. Gestures beta? Nope. No, I don't see anything. There's Play 2. Last update on Play 2 is 2014. Oi. Lumia Camera Classic last update was March 19th this year. Glance background last up. So did I just touch one of these? Glance background. I can install it.
You don't have glance. No,
I know,
stop. Dave,
but I'm just saying.
display, touch.
Not seeing it, dude.
All right, Dave.
Guys, I'm gonna go rest my voice, so I have some left for tomorrow. I've got 2 shows tomorrow.
Go
so
grab another beer. Yeah.
I'm good. It didn't help. I thought that would be.
No, it's not going to help.
No, I thought.
Now liquor, Jim.
I know. I should have done some real
Yeah.
stuff. No, it's gotten a lot better. Yesterday I could barely talk. So
Yeah, actually, at the start of the show, I was worried about you, but no, it seemed to get better.
yeah,
it's
clearing up. It's clearing up a little bit.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be a rough show.
Well, I didn't talk. I didn't talk too much either, so it's good. So, all right, guys.
Thanks, Jim. See you, bud.
Thanks for letting me on. We'll see
Take
you.
care, Jim.
It's
God,
just not there.
I love
Microsoft Mobile. I see where it should be. It's not there. Here services. There's lots of here services.
So I have a 9:30 coming tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to join you, Dave. We can both have the same device.
Well, you'll have glance.
No, I won't have glance, but I will have tap to wake. No glance still. So the glance is all about the type of display. It has to have
correct
a feature for memory, right? It has to be able to store data on the chipset that goes with the LCD, which our displays don't have. But tap to wake should be able to be there. So let's do a Lumia icon, tap to wake. Not currently supported by the Lumia icon. Long time waiting to get 8.1 denim. First thing seems to be missing is a double tap to wake. Update the app. There's an app that's updated to try to detect its extras and info, then update it. Problems with perfect solution. So hold on, Dave. I'm getting something for you. Yeah, it's called Touch, Dave. You want to see if you can get an app update for this app. I'm going to send you a link on the Windows Store. Open it on your phone. Do you have Messenger on your phone?
Yeah.
So I put the link in here. Open it on your phone. See if there's an update to that app.
We're going. Touch. App installed. Now, why wouldn't your little sysapp pusher telling me this?
I don't know. But is there an update available for you?
No, it's just view,
Darn
share.
Okay. Same disappointment. No, these people are not happy. It's not currently supported on the Lumia icon. Blah, blah, blah. In the future, the icon will support double tap to wake since it is supported by the 930. No, that's just a guess. No, Dave, the icon is left out for some reason.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I knew that, but
I just don't understand how it really isn't a 930. It really is a 929, because remember how some people call it that? The icon's the 929.
Mm-hmm. It's still trying to start the Windows Store. Okay, stop it. You must reboot now. Restart. Okay. People in the stream, YouTubers, we're saying goodnight. Thanks for watching. See you out at surfacegeeks.com forums. Good night.